Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video, and today we are going to be making an epic, delicious, but actually super easy vegan dessert. Today I'm going to show you how to make a baked vegan Snickers cheesecake. A lot of vegan cheesecakes are frozen or use cashews or coconuts, and actually this cheesecake recipe has neither. I wanted to challenge myself to do something a little bit different, but don't worry, it's still really delicious. It actually has a texture really similar to cheesecake, and I think it's absolutely, I don't know, it's just really good. And today, lucky for you, I'm gonna show you how to make it. So this video is proudly sponsored by Soya Tofu. I've done a few videos with them in the past, breaking down what tofu is and showing you guys a few other yummy recipes. And today we're going to be using Soya's organic silken tofu. And silken tofu, the texture is a little bit smoother than traditional tofu blocks that you would use for baked tofu. You can actually like scoop it out with a spoon because it's so smooth and creamy. And today it's going to give our cheesecake some nice volume, as well as some slight softness, but still firm texture thanks to the protein content in this tofu. So if you want to figure out where you can get Soya in a store near you, I will link their store locator down below. But for now, let's get on to the recipe. So first we're going to make our cheesecake crust in a food processor. You're going to add some rolled oats, some whole peanuts, some cacao powder, and just a pinch of salt into the device, and then seal the lid on and pulse or blend this until it forms a fine consistency. The peanuts add some extra crunchiness to this chocolate crust to help mimic that graham cracker texture. And then now we're going to add some coconut sugar and some peanut butter to the crust. So instead of using another liquid or oil, we're just going to use peanut butter, which enhances the peanut buttery flavor in the cake. And again, we're just going to pulse this until the mixture becomes well combined. It should be pretty sticky, and as you can see here, when you pinch the dough with your fingers, it should hold together pretty well. So now we're going to blind bake our crust, which essentially means baking the crust before you add the filling. And this just allows the crust to firm up and be crispy after you add the wet filling. Otherwise, sometimes it gets a little bit soggy. So we're going to be using a springform pan today. This is a standard cheesecake pan. You can probably get it at your local grocery store or like a Home Goods or on Amazon. I'll have a link below. And we're just going to add our base into the springform pan and use our fingers to firmly press it in. It's not going to cover the sides in this recipe, just the bottom. So we're going to put that in the oven while we make our cheesecake filling. And like I said, we're going to be using Soya's organic silken tofu today. I wanted to show you this tofu has a really nice texture and consistency. As you can see, it's really soft and creamy. It's great in savory applications like miso soup and stuff too, but today we're talking cheesecake. So we're going to be using the same food processor. You can gently clean it out if you want, but it's all getting blended together and it doesn't really matter. You're going to add your tofu to the food processor with a lot of peanut butter. So typical cheesecakes use cashews or coconut cream, but today I just decided to ditch both of those and replace that fat source with peanut butter. It is a lot more cost effective, more accessible for people, and it still bakes down and gets nice and creamy. And also, if you don't have a super high powered blender or food processor, it's already blended, so you don't have to worry about weird chunks of cashews in your cheesecake. So we're also going to add some coconut sugar for sweetness. You can use brown sugar too if you'd like, plus some lemon juice. This helps give our cheesecake a nice cheesy sour tang. We're also going to add arrowroot powder to help thicken the cheesecake, and some vanilla extract and salt. Vanilla extract adds some sweetness and depth of flavor, and the salt just brings out the flavors of the other ingredients. So again, we're going to process this until the mixture becomes nice and smooth and thick. This is about what it should look like here. This stuff is so good. You can honestly almost eat it like a chocolate peanut butter pudding. But again, we're making cheesecake. So our pie base should be nice and crispy, and now we're going to spoon or spatula the filling onto the pre-cooked base, and then just use a spatula to spread it out. So this filling is a little bit thicker than traditional cheesecake, so it's not going to smooth out too much. So while you are spreading the filling around, I would recommend using a spatula to get it as smooth as possible, or you can make a fun little spiral pattern. But whatever you do, just know that your final strokes are going to stay on the cheesecake as you bake it. So once it is smoothed out to your liking, we're going to bake this in the middle rack of the oven for about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we can make some 3-ingredient salted caramel sauce. I used this recipe in some salted caramel donuts a while ago, but it goes perfect on our Snickers cheesecake because of the caramel layer in actual Snickers. And the recipe itself is really simple. We're just going to add some full-fat coconut milk, some more coconut sugar, and some miso paste to a pan, and then whisk all this together. The full fat coconut milk mimics the creaminess of normal caramel, the coconut sugar adds the sweetness, and the miso paste adds depth of flavor and really helps this to taste like caramel. So we're just going to whisk this mixture until everything is evenly incorporated, and then bring this to a simmer and simmer it down until the caramel sauce has thickened almost to your liking. So keep in mind that the sauce is going to thicken as it cools down just naturally, and it will thicken even further overnight in the fridge. So if you want like a really spreadable caramel, you can cook it down a lot. I wanted mine to still be pretty drizzly, so I just cooked mine down till it was about how I liked it. And as you can see, the caramel gets a little darker and it coats a spoon pretty well. So it doesn't run off too evenly, but it's still pretty thick. So now we're just going to set that aside. You can pour it into a glass jar or whatever Tupperware you would like. And I just put it in the fridge to help let it cool and thicken a little more. And now it is time to remove and decorate our cheesecake. Well, actually you're going to let your cheesecake cool for about an hour in the oven and let it come to room temperature before you remove the springform pan. I have the full instructions in my blog post, but it's kind of boring to watch cheesecake cool on video. So we skipped ahead. Now we're decorating. I decided to be extra and make my healthy Snickers bars. This recipe is already on my blog. It will be linked below as well. And I decked out my cheesecake with these because, I don't know, just makes it look like even more of a Snickers cheesecake. And then I also added some more peanuts, and I also decided to add some chocolate chips here to give an extra boost of chocolate flavor. You can also do a chocolate drizzle if you like, but I'm already drizzling it with my salted caramel sauce, so I thought the chocolate chips were fine. And this is our completed cheesecake. So you can serve it up maybe with an extra drizzle of salted caramel sauce. And guys, this is so luscious and delicious, and the texture is so much like cheesecake. It's pretty crazy. All right, guys, and there you have it. I really, truly hope that you make the cheesecake. It is just so good. I wish I had leftovers so I could do a taste test for you, but we ate them really fast because it was so good, and I shared it with some friends and they really liked it too. But this would be perfect for a holiday dessert if you want to take a sort of untraditional route, but still really delicious route. And it would also just be great in general to bring to potlucks if you're entertaining people. It can be made a few days in advance too, and it keeps up well, which is great if you are cooking a bunch of other things as well. So like always, the full recipe is linked below if you want to check it out, as well as that store locator for Nasoya. Don't forget to check them out. I love their tofu. It is definitely my favorite brand of tofu, and I'm really happy to be working with them. So that pretty much sums up this video. I hope you guys are having an awesome day and continue to have one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.